like nothing happened before now. We are anew in this 30 minutes. And if I'm not right in my head, like it don't go well. It don't go well. I've now kind of gotten to a point like I can pretty much hold myself through anything now. I teach for the PACE program, which is through the ACA. The whole program is pre-K to third grade, but in the fall we just have second and third now, and in the spring we'll have pre-K K1. And I teach at the Montessori school, which is pre-K 3, pre-K 4, and K, 40 kids in one group. And I think that's all the teaching I'm doing right now.
Teaching, working in techniques, so yeah.
I don't accidentally only teach young children. Oh no. Oh no. I don't think it really is. It really is. Yeah. I say, and I've taught, like I taught in dance studios earlier on in my career. So I've taught all ages, like from 0 to 100. And middle school is my least favorite. What I say, I spoke to the counselors and I was like breaking down what movement is like for elementary, middle, and high. And what I said about those people in the middle is they are aliens. They're actual aliens. Like their limbs don't grow symmetrically at that time. So they like literally can't walk around, like they're just off balance and they're like trying out. Yeah. No, I think you learn how to be a people in elementary school, and then in middle school you're trying out on like other species. Like you were a human and now you're like, what if I'm a cat? Like weirdos. Yes. Hey, that's the only way I know how to describe it. And they're like hormonally and physically, there's just so much going on in the body. Like for dance teachers, it's your least favorite. They can't turn. They can't, because they have no center axis. They are literally asymmetrical. You're trying to balance on one, I can't do it. And you're like, what is going on? Last year you were fine. And once they get over that, like then they're high school or whatever, and they're just angry.
Yeah.
When I did not connect with high school age very well, like especially early on in my career. I think I was just too close to the mix.
Yeah, when I was teaching, I think 21,
Yeah.
22,
Yeah. You are then. Yeah. Yeah. You're like, but I know way more than you. And you're like, don't. So it's just a weird. I had a high school group a couple years ago that I finally like connected with. We all got along and they listened. I was like, oh yes, I've cracked the code. Middle school, still no for me. She's like, do you want to teach them every week? I was like, I don't think so. I think it's a no for me. I love the little people though. That is my main gig, is teaching in the schools. And I've always liked teaching. I don't do a lot of my own art. I have gone through spurts where space, and I'm going to talk more about my individual brands and businesses today, but I think so too. That's what I want to say on my social media account if I ever start posting.
Yeah.
I am redoing my office right now, and that's what I keep telling myself. As soon as my office is back together, I'm taking over the world. It's hard not having an office. Do y'all have offices?
I do, but I'm not in that situation. And he finally redid his, and I'm not at a point where I can actually work.
Yeah.
So I'm in chaos.
Yep. Yep.
And we're leaving complete.
Yep.
Months to do this.
Yes. I can't even tell you how many times I've told me, like, I'm struggling without an office. Like, I work from home, but I ain't got no office. That doesn't equal. It's not working.
I went from, living in family owned home, so I was in a 3-bedroom house, and I was just being in the house and
Yeah.
so nice, like, now I'm in an apartment. We have an art studio now, but like, I have a desktop computer. And, build everything.
Hmm.
I don't know what else it is, like,
Yeah. I like having a specific, I have a 3-bedroom house and only one kid. So we have a spare bedroom / my office,
Yeah.
which is fine. I don't mind the bed. It looks nice when it's all made up, but now it's just nothing. I feel I've been trying to paint my office for like 2 months. Mm-hmm. It's like a dark navy gray. Because in my son's room, I did the top, that blue color. I did like a chair mold. I don't know what the heck it is. There's a board on the wall and the bottom is white. And then I painted my whole office the blue color. Now I'm doing the trim because once you paint the walls, oh, now you got to paint the trim. Oh, now I have to paint the trim my whole house. And then I'm going to paint the whole house. I did decide though, like, I think there's 2 different kind of people, like people who are always working on something and people who don't want to work on nothing. Well, I think living seasonally is important too, but I don't know, like people who are always kind of working on things like, oh, I'm not quite done with that. It's going to be someday, like just that you can hold that future vision in different aspects of your life seems to be a through line. Where is everybody? I'm going to give them a few more minutes.
It's recording.
Cool.
They can just watch it.
Yeah. Okay. I'm only going to wait 3 more minutes because I'm never late. Yay, you. Yeah. Yeah. You did it. Are you still in school?
I have a degree in psychology. I graduated in 2020, but I don't know. It's like psychology is one of those degrees where you really need something to do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
It's a trap.
So now I'm working as like a financially like securing myself through the day job, which is working like a photographer.
Yeah.
And at least with like so much more energy than when I was retail.
Yeah.
Like, oh.
Yeah. And you're still doing something artistic. Yeah. What a win-win. Yeah. I worked full-time jobs. Yeah. When I graduated college, I didn't know in dance. I was like, okay, yeah. Here I go.
Like 6 years.
Oh, nice.
Which was fun. I hear now it's like more chaotic and crazy.
Yeah.
But during the pandemic, I got like laid off, and then that's fun. And for some reason, like I haven't been looking for jobs right when she like posted it. Like almost definitely. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's fairly well. Like it just feels that way.
We believe in something that got you that job.
I like so many.
Yeah.
That.
Yeah.
I think at every like stage of my life though, I'm always like thinking of like what's the next way I could like become more successful. I hardly ever stop to think like 2 years ago, like I'm looking forward to be where I am now.
There's definitely a balance, especially too when you are like working for yourself or trying to do that thing. You do always have to kind of keep like some momentous energy harnessed in there somewhere, because that is what keeps it going. You know, you're saying like you're always looking for how to be more successful. When you get that full-time job, like they lay it out for you. Well, this is the track that you take, and you're like, oh, that looks like a good track. I feel good about that. And then here you're like, ooh, like nobody's putting me on a track. What I have to write the track. We're talking about writing the track today. And we're gonna get started because I don't want to wait any longer. Hi, welcome back. Hello. Last time we talked about like getting the LLC and having all that kind of stuff. Do you have an LLC at this point? Where are you at? Okay. Okay. Are you just starting something? What you trying to do? And what's your pain point? Why are you here? What's troubling you? We love that. Wait, that is what. Yeah. Why? Is that just working for you so far? So you're like, we're gonna roll with it. Cool. Yeah. Yeah. I worked as a sole proprietor for years before I did my LLC. Okay. Oh, sorry. Look, I'm not positive. Okay, so I'm looking at getting organized. It's the second page. I put a little checklist there, and some of this I was just talking about the workspace. We were just talking about home offices. It doesn't seem like you need a space, but you need a space. Like if you've said to yourself, I'm going to work for myself, then you need to have a desk. You need to have an iPad that allows you to, or whatever tools you need to have. Last workshop, I spent the whole time telling you not to spend money in your business. And I think you should keep it slim. And now I'm telling you, spend some money on your business. Like buy a desk if you have to. I just got rid of a broken chair, a little office chair. When you lean back, you might fall out. So I threw it away. Like that does not serve me in my business. So when I get my office put back together, I'm going to buy a chair. My trackpad just went out for my Mac desktop. I had a mouse, so I've been using my mouse. But I don't know if you know, like when you're video editing or when you're doing something really specific, you have to have the tools. So I'm losing time by trying to use this mouse than just buying a new trackpad. So you really like return on investment. It would take me less time to buy that trackpad to do these videos than it is me fucking around with this mouse, So think about like, don't not spend any money on the structure of your setup. It is super important. And as artists, you know how important your tools are. So this is your little permission slip to spend a little bit of money, and it's tax deductible anyway. Save all those expenses. Anything you spend on your home office is a deduction. Computer, iPad, logo and brand. Does anybody have a logo? Yay. No? Oh, see? Okay, well, let's talk about it. You can't, when you ask a designer to make you a logo, they're going to be like, just a logo. Anybody heard a designer say that? Just the logo? And you're like, yeah, just a logo. And they're like, well, first I started with just a logo, and I paid some college design student like $30 to make me this logo. And I won't show it here now, but it looks like I paid a college freshman $30 to make me a logo. And I did use it. That was when I got my LLC in 2018, I paid that for that $30 logo. And I was like, oh, on my way. And I put it on all my stuff. Bless that logo. Yeah. 100%. It has like mountains in the background. My business is Space Lafayette. Hello. Welcome. What is your name? Akshay? Am I saying that? My name's Shay. Oh, Shay. Oh, sorry, Shay. Hello. We're talking about getting organized on the first page. So yes, I bought my mountains logo, and I really just rolled with it for the first couple of years, and then hated it so much that I taught myself graphic design, try to make my own logo. Yeah, everybody's in. Well, so I have this thing in the bottom. So if any of these things you're really wanting to work on, you can make yourself a little checklist. So let's talk about logos. There's a lot of options. First of all, you can go on Fiverr and pay somebody $5 and bam, you get a logo. That's not my first choice, but I have done it. The next option is finding somebody young and local, somebody you can collaborate with that's maybe the same age as you or at the same part of their business, but they happen to be into graphic design. You might pay $300 for a logo, and they may get you like a color palette, and they may give you a little manual for your logo use, but it's unlikely. Or you could find an established contractor and pay anywhere. So my Space brand that you see throughout here, all these nice colors and logos. I got a couple little graphic things or whatever, and I paid $600 for that logo. I also got a brand manual. Some complaints at that price budget were all these little graphics. You can see those other places on the internet. Womp womp. If you pay an experienced designer, they're going to do their research. They're not going to like copyright infringe on people. They're going to make sure all your stuff is original. They're going to hand you over the licenses for the fonts and the patterns if they bought it from Creative Market or whatever. So all this to say, you can spend $5 and that's perfectly okay. You can spend $30,000 if that is your budget, and you will get more for your money. Not to say any of that is wrong, but those are the options. So if you want a logo or that, make some notes about that. My other brand, Breathe and Move, I don't know if anybody has seen it anywhere. It's how I do can I just, this is my second brand, is Breathe and Move. It's where all of my education contracts fall into. I don't have a separate LLC for this. This runs as a doing business as under my Space Lafayette LLC. I paid $3,000 for this brand to be made. Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't. I think it gets, what are you thinking?
So I have like fine art stuff, which is like a tile and brand.
Uh-huh.
And then I was thinking of having like the shots of more stuff.
Well, I think that could fall under, if it's still your art, you could separate it. Well, you can have a DBA as anything. Like you could still put all of your work under your DBA and just have your LLC. I happen to use both brands, but only because they're two. Like Space Lafayette is my professional work as an artist. That's why I chose it for this, because I'm talking about being an artist. And my dance company, Breathe and Move, is on my lesson plans. Go on over. It was just go on over if you can. Oh wait. Right away. To that way. Yeah. This is an example of a lesson plan. So again, I paid $3,000 for this brand when I opened up a studio. I had already kind of done the background on the brand myself. I had picked the color palette. I had even designed my own logo and brought it to the designer. Like, this is kind of what I'm looking for. And now I get to use it everywhere. I use it on my proposals. I use it on my lesson plans. I use it on the handouts that I give to kids. I use it in my PACE exhibition show. It doesn't have my logo on it, but it has all of my branding colors. And I think that recognition is really important. That's why I paid that much for it. And the designer was in Sao Paulo, Brazil. I found her on Freelancing Females, which is where I get a lot of my contractors, Freelancing Females. It's women all over the world who own their own businesses, and they mostly work remotely. Incredibly talented people for building websites, brands, marketing materials. If you have the budget, Freelancing Females is where I would go first, and you can find women all over the world doing good work. So logo and branding. Any other questions about that? I did also want to show y'all my brand manual from Breathe and Move, just to kind of see. I think I put it in there. Somewhere else. Okay, so this is my main brand manual and then fun stuff. Okay. So this is what I got from the designer when we paid all that money. She did this custom pattern that you see all around here. I got all the pattern elements. Yep. Logo, my mission, how the lots of logo variations. Normally, if you're paying anywhere from 300 to 600, you might get 1 or 2 logo variations, but these are really helpful when you're doing your brand continuity because you can put them anywhere. Your color palette, all of that goodness, what kind of photos to use, art direction, that has been super helpful for me. Don't mess it up, she says. The end. So that's my brand manual for Breathing. And said it in the last time, so I brought all of my photos and I have Breathing kit. And those songs around, and I put my phone, you know, when I'm photo shoots, I got $1,000. You, from a marketing perspective, they call the same idea, knowing every time they hear them. You can shift your color palette, you can change anything you want. Like as much as you are using the continuity, marketing materials. This is kind of the biggest part. Flyers, so what will be helpful to you? I'm going to do this right now. I don't think that is not. And again, this is something, if you don't have graphic design experience yourself, you're Fiverr, you can go what a person recommends on, there's a lot of artists work that might team up with you, maybe trade, trade with people for you get from maybe you make this illustration to add this program and I will help you. Whatever skills you pick up, use those for other ones. That is not the same thing if you're like, hey, can you do this for me? So when you want your own like you have domains and sites. I just bought 2 domains that have no original links for even maybe the next 5 years. But if you have one and you think it's really good, the domain is one you really want, buy like $20 a year. And maybe when you want to find a conversation on like $3,000, that domain can be really nice. Birthday, yeah. Being open to I hired her it's the same brand designer who did not read the brand. She built my website. She's like brand this thing and oh yeah, and she helped me think about things differently. So when the studio was bringing me down to studio, John and just bought a radio documentation. That direction. And also want to help people be that's my Instagram handle. One primary on so you can free movie space. When the free movie application becomes a giant set of 5 years, then I'll fill out that. And the website, you know the website. Yeah. You do it yourself.
Yeah, so, yeah, Marvel was created, one side people like evil. Yeah, very, yeah, uh, maybe website, and you can maybe make fun of the it's really nice. Doing exactly what I was. Is that cool? So yeah, I can go to those settings or WordPress. Sawyer's they. Or you can have somebody custom build the problem with having.
I'm not sure it's very off this one, so I'm gonna take.
Okay. Okay. Do I, where do I hold?
Yeah, put it in the same spot.
Okay.
Sorry. Just the people are wrong.
Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you for your patience. I've never just like had a good time with a mic. Never once. You know, something's always going on with these things. Hi. Or you can custom build it. This is really great. This is super great. However, it comes with maintenance expenses. If somebody is custom coding your website, that means that they will have to update it themselves unless they are teaching you how to use whatever backend they're using. I've done it. I did it with my Breathe and Move site because it was so beautiful and great. If you're doing a lot of changes to your website regularly, I would go through a host. Because then you could just find, if you really can't do it yourself, you can find a freelancer that works on WordPress for cheaper than you can find someone to change your custom code or whatever. So that would be that if you don't want to do it yourself. Social platforms. How many times have you said I should post on social media more? Yes, we love that. Here's my thoughts about social media, and this is an unpopular opinion. I don't think you should be on every platform. I don't even think you should be on most of the platforms. I think to have like some balance of sanity for yourself, you should really pick very specifically what platforms you're on. And I even go back and forth about this right now. Like I have a Facebook page. Like myself is on Facebook. Both of my brands have pages on Facebook that have not been updated. Like I am personally not on Facebook. I had to make a mental health choice to get off of Facebook, and I've been off for almost over a year. Yeah. But every time I do an event, every time I do anything, I'm like, oh, should I post on Facebook? And sometimes I will allow it to cross post from Instagram. But then I'm like, I'm just putting that information out and not even tending to it. So even if people had questions, I wouldn't be there to answer them. So is it actually helpful for me to put that information there? I don't know. That's a judgment you make for yourself. But decide who your audience is and what platform are they on the most. And every single platform has different algorithms, different kind of content that it favors. So if you spend all of your time, and I've done it, changing the dimensions for the ideal photo for Facebook and Instagram and whatever, like that's so much of your time. That is so much of your time. When really your audience is just seeing the same thing in two different places, which is not helpful. It's not really helpful. You need to like cover ground on one platform. If you nail it, you want to move somewhere else, that's fine. But more is not more. More is not more. Everybody's like, get a TikTok now. Everybody get a TikTok. What do I need a TikTok for? What do I need a TikTok for? I'm not on TikTok. I've never made a TikTok account. All of my stuff is on Instagram. I spend a lot of energy on Instagram, a lot of time on Instagram. Not currently posting as much as I want, but whatevs. That's not what I'm focusing on right now. I'm focusing more on the back end of my business at this moment. So It's okay to not focus on social media. Just be aware. And if you are focusing on social media, you have to post all the time. And just being realistic with yourself. Like if you're posting once a month and then not for 3 months, like you're going to start over every time with your audience. So just be realistic about that, but don't get too hard on yourself. You can make money and not post on social media like me. But it is helpful to your business. I will say, like, a lot of my brand awareness for Breathe and Move in Space come from social media. And just that early on, I had spent the money on the brand itself and the color palette, and people were already getting that recognition. So now I don't feel like I have to post as much on those accounts. I'm just already doing it because I already did it. Finance Friday, I talked a little bit about this last time, but if we're talking about getting organized, like we got to talk about monies. Whatever pain point it is, right? Like if you are consistently saying to yourself, I'm not making enough money, I'm not making enough money. And every Friday, that's not what I do. I would spend my time looking for money, looking for grants that I can write, looking for videos that I can make, writing proposals, like I'm doing the actual business of trying to make more money. And now, like if I'm in a low money spot, I'm going to ask myself, where is my income coming from right now? Can I put more energy there and get more money from those people, or can I repeat that somewhere else? Right. So just you do have to think about making more money. Or if you're like, I'm making plenty of money, maybe you want to start investing. So maybe you spend your whole Friday figuring out what investment account would be best for you. Like, just think about your finances at least one day every week, because that's what you need to do. Finance Friday. And then pay yourself. Everybody would be excited about that. Made it really big. This is because last time y'all asked me, wait, well, how do you pay yourself? And I was like, didn't I put that in there? Here it is. Deposit all income into your business account. We talked about that before. You have to keep your finances separate. Otherwise, if you are sued, they can take all of your money. So keep your finances separate. Deposit all of your income into your business account. Hold your quarterly or monthly tax payments, or move to a HISA. I had mentioned that to someone last week, and I'm going to start doing it now. I was like, ooh, that does sound like a good idea. So I normally just hold my tax payments in my business account and then pay them quarterly, but I'm going to start moving that amount to a high yield savings account every month so I can make interest on my tax money. I should make money on money I have to give to the government anyway. I want to make money on it. So I'm going to put that here, make money over here, and then just pay it. Business expenses and investments. Some people say that you should pay yourself first. I did do that in the beginning. I had no expenses or investments in the beginning because I wasn't making enough money to do so. Now I feel like I can pay my business expenses, which are maybe $40 a month. Parking downtown, because I come to the ACA a lot. Printer ink, Canva, my budgeting app, all of that kind of stuff. Any investments? I'm buying myself a new chair and trackpad. Investment account. I have a Roth IRA. I can't explain it. I don't want to explain it to you because I'm not a tax expert professional finance person, but I did a lot of research 8 years ago and thought that was the best idea for me at the time. I highly encourage you to do the same if you're to a point where you need to be investing, and you should all be investing, because if you don't have a full-time job with that nice corporate match, we do want to retire at some point. You don't want to work yourself into the ground. So even if you're putting $10 a month in some kind of investment account, that's something. Then I pay my bill account. I have all of my personal bills recurring, like automatically drafted from one account. So I know how much that is. I put all of that, boop, my bills are paid. I don't have to worry about it at the beginning of every month. And then the rest will come into my personal expense account, just a regular checking account that I pay like grocery, all the good stuff. So that's how I get paid. Try to keep all that stuff at the top as low as you can. Your business expenses and stuff. You don't want to be robbing yourself. Like, you're doing this to make money. We're not working for free. Make sure you're getting paid. Moving on. Does anybody teach? Okay, well, I'll go through really fast. Teaching will always be lucrative and rewarding outlet for working artists. If at any time, like you need to pick up a class or do a seminar or whatever, it's just good information to have. I have taught a lot in my career. It's something I enjoy. So I'm always looking to spread the information that I'm learning. Oh, look at that typo. Don't read it. This is just how I set up my lesson. Every lesson needs a curriculum connection, social emotional learning, and an art standard. So make sure you're covering your art form. You're making the people have fun. That's pretty much it. And then I say, what do we know? What are we learning? And what are we doing? That's how I lay out my lesson plan. And then I document it. So if ever you teach somebody anything, document it really well. Because then if somebody asks you to teach it again, you're like, oh, I already have all this effort that I did. And I don't have to do it again. So now you're making more money the second time, right? Because you don't have to plan or prep. You already have those lessons. And I've done that I have like just pages and pages of lesson plans, even from dance studio days. So if somebody calls me up, like, hey, we need a sub, I give them a really high hourly rate and I pull some lesson I wrote 10 years ago. And we're done. So document everything you do. Even if you're not teaching, document everything you're doing so that if you have to do it again, you make more money because you already did the work. We'll skip over all that since we're not teaching. Analyzing results. Lex, you kind of spoke to this, like you feel like you're always looking to what's next to find more success. What are we doing? And I find a lot of freelancers feel the need to continually reinvent the wheel. Like you're trying to make something or do something or design something that one might have already been done. The quick Google search might have already given you that information. And I'm guilty. I'm saying this because I can see myself like digging into something that's already been done. So don't give yourself more work than you have to. Like check to see if somebody around you knows the answer, if it's already been done, or if there's like a free worksheet that will lay out the steps on how to do check for that information. It's the age of the internet, people. You can learn anything. And that's kind of what I was just saying about documenting. You can drain resources by not repeating or reworking something that already worked. So go back to your books, see when you were making money, how you were making money. Did you document that process? Yes. Try to take it somewhere else. Try to do it again, tweak it a little. Like, don't constantly remake all these new things. Do again what's already working. And as freelancers, I think we get caught like picking up new skills all the time. Oh, I can get paid to do it. Oh. And then you're like spending all this time learning how, like doing all this stuff when you already had something that was working and paying you, so relax, everyone. And the need to keep records allows that self check-in. I just write down everything, like my income, I'm documenting, my lesson plans, I'm documenting, my processes, I'm documenting everything. I'm writing everything down. I'm making fun little documents on Canva about everything, like anything you can think of, I'm documenting it. And for two reasons. One, that brand continuity, that I'm sharing lots of stuff in the world that has my colors and name and ideas and thoughts on it. And two, so I can look back at it later and see, like, do I need to do that again? That was cool. Maybe I changed a little and put it out there again. This is less work that I have to do. Yay me. And these are kind of metrics that I look at. Income is a big one, obviously. If you find yourself in a low spot in your career, happens a lot to me. I go back and see my highest earning quarters. What was going on? What's not here that was there? Like, simplify it. If it was already working, go back and go back again, over and over again. Media analytics, if you're looking at building social, that's really clear. You can pull up, if you don't have a business account, get one. You say, this many more people saw my stuff this week. Go into the post, like, what was it about this? Like, there's really clear ways to look at your media analytics if that is something you're working on. Hourly rate has been another, we talked about this last time. Your hourly rate is everything as a freelancer. It's the only thing you have to go by. Like, how much am I making in this very hour? So you have to calculate how much prep time it takes you to do something. So if you get a gig and you're like, okay, they're going to pay me $500 to do a mural. Cool. $500. Okay. Well, it takes me 10 hours to do the drawing. And then it took me like a day to get out there and get all the paint. Well, and it started raining. So I had to get like, and then you add up all the hours and you made like what, $5 to $10 an hour? You're like, what happened? What happened? That like, so just be aware exactly how much time it has to take you. If you find that things are taking you too long, do an hour tracker on your desktop. You can literally log the hours, like how much time I'm only going to let myself look at this for this many hours, and that's it. And I'm going to leave it and then leave it. So you're making sure you're getting paid. Work-life balance. A lot of freelancers don't talk about, no, I gotta hustle all the time or whatever. And you can do that. I do think there are seasons where you should do that. I do, there are late nights, like that does happen. It doesn't have, think like checking in with yourself. Like if you've been doing that for a year, too long, pull back, like raise your hourly rates. If you're finding that you're working so much and you don't feel like you're making any, you're not getting paid enough, start raising your hourly rates, thin out the work and get more money for less time. You know, you don't want to work yourself to death in this. And alignment, when you get to a point like, is every gig that I have in alignment with me? Like, so I think early on you have to do a couple things that you're like, oh, this is not feel great. Working with this person is not ideal. I don't really like the mission of their business or whatever it is. But as you build success, for me, one of those metrics is like being in alignment with every single person that I work with. And again, like it's taken some time, but I finally feel like I'm here now. It's okay not to be that way in the beginning, but I do use that as a metric for like for my success. Do I like the people I work with? And retention. If you're a freelancer, like, are the people coming back? Like, are the people who gave you money giving you more money? Are they referring people? Are they like, what is your retention like? You know, are you constantly having to find new gigs, new clients? What's up with that? Why not? Like, what is that? Some things I do to retain people that pay me the most money, I write them handwritten cards. Handwritten cards is like the number one thing you can do. I had a local illustrator do 4 little paintings that related to my Breathe and Move brand. I printed them on cards. I got little stickers and cute, like everything's on brand. And now I just write cards. And those cards have made so much money in my career. It's a little thing that goes a long way. Like you're saying, hey, thank you for seeing me and my work. I see what you're doing, think you're, whatever it is, write somebody a card for if you're looking for increased retention. And I just put in the bottom, like what's working right now in your business? What's working right now for you and what isn't? I'm gonna give you a couple minutes to write that down. What's working? What's something that's going really well for you right now? And what's a pain point for you right now? If you're like, nothing's working right now, what's something that worked for you in the past that you'd like to like breathe some life into? What's something that you're like, yes, that was me living my best life. I would like to do that again. Anybody want to tell us something that's working? What's working for you? What's working for you? You've been doing this a long time. What's working? What do you do with it? Yeah. Okay, that's fun. Yeah. 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 They pay you like upfront or over time? Yeah. That's great. Nice. What's working for you?
Retention, like earning on past time,
Hmm.
but I also feel like I have an issue with it. So it's,
So the same people come back again and again? Is there some way to incentivize them to get other people? Because if they already think you're great enough to come back and again, like I would definitely try to run some kind of like campaign where you're like, tell your people about, and you'll get this much off your next thing. Cause yeah,
so,
how regularly do you send it out?
so I sent out like the monthly newsletter, and then I'll send out.
Oh, do I have it? I don't think I brought it. It's in my car. Okay. LOL. What's
So my monthly newsletter, sometimes I'll like have a promotion, so that
okay?
I'll have any dates of events that I'll be going to like in our community. I'll also share like my latest blog posts that I have on my website. And then that's like once a month at the beginning of the month. And then occasionally if I have like a show, I'll just like send like
A lot of visual artists are doing like drop type work. So maybe in your newsletters, you're like, I only have 5 spaces for commission work this month. This month is filling up. I have 5 here, maybe 2 here. Like there really is because there is a limited amount to how much you can take. So just
thinking like Christmas coming up.
yeah. That would definitely be in your next newsletter. I'm only, and give them the number. Like, don't lie to them. Oh, I'm so busy, might fill up. No, I only have this many spots. If you want one, you need to let me know now. And that will kind of create a little more urgency there if they were considering it. What's working for you?
I don't want to say attention.
Yeah.
These days. Look around.
Yeah. What are you doing right now?
Well, I was on one weekend project that Christmas mode.
You got to be in the Christmas mode right now.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe it is for you, like prepping one season ahead.
Yeah. And the project I'm working on with them, it's kind of, I've got to focus on that before I can do anything else.
And you have a full-time job.
Well,
Part. Okay. Yeah. Maybe on your Finance Friday, that looks like, and for you too, that looks like new business. And new business could be like, I'm going to post every single day on social media for the next month, if that is where you find some people. Maybe new business is reaching out to a local store to see if you can keep something in there for the 2 months leading up to Christmas. I mean, I don't know what you do, but just, yeah, if you're having trouble getting new clients, your Finance Friday should look like new business. If you're in a lull or looking to expand. What is not working? What's not working? Yeah. That sounds like a business.
Yeah, that's like every.
Uh-huh.
I will say retention because like when I'm doing one things.
Yeah. 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 Are you looking, how do you want this to grow as a business? Yeah. Do you have an additional job? Okay. So what kind of work is it? Yeah, there's a lot of want for that, especially in this area. So you're working as a sole proprietor right now because you're just taking people's money, which is fine. That's what I did in the beginning. And you're saying like you're working with one client and they're like, I want a logo and I wanted this and I wanted this, and then it's over.
Usually it's like art stuff, like someone will want a painting, then do a painting, someone will want you to just draw something, put it on canvas so they can go and paint it later, whatever.
Yeah, that's cool. That is cool. Are you marketing this at all? Or are you just kind of like how people are coming and finding you organically?
People are coming because it's usually my folks, people.
Yeah.
that will just.
Yeah, that's how it starts. That's how it starts. That sounds really exciting. The first thing I would do if you're already into design and illustrating is give yourself a brand. Like, so at least they can say where they went. You know, I had this person do it. And even if you don't have a social media or anything up first, like you could put, you know, your logo on the invoice. Like just something to kind of, it takes it from these are my friends and family paying me to do something to they would tell somebody else that they can pay me to do this. Just that little like shift in logo, or even just making all the things the same colors. Like it's just this really small step to kind of separate yourself as like, oh, this is the thing I'm doing now. You know what I mean? Sounds like it's going pretty well. Are you drafting are you making contracts when you're?
No, it's usually I come up with how much money. It's usually like $10 for something. I usually get 150. I usually got 150.
Yeah. This sounds like it's going okay. So I'm gonna pull up. Yes, you should. I'm gonna pull some up. So contracts. Woohoo! I talked a little bit about this last time, but I actually brought some of my contracts with me. Like, who do I want to put out there? Okay, let's just take a look at this. Look how simple. This is before I started branding all of my stuff. Performance agreement. I do shows with like professional dancers. I pay the dancers, not much, but as it lays out in the contract, who? What is the show? When do you have to be there? How much? Let's read it. Agreeing to the terms of this contract and fulfilling them to stated expectations. And I just Googled this and copy pasted to be clear. You can potentially earn additional money by receiving tally marks for any work done to support the show. This includes blah, blah, blah from blah, blah, blah. If there is a remaining amount, it will be distributed between the company account and the performers based on tally marks. So I'm showing you this because is this fancy? Look, it be on time, yo. I put yo in my contract because it doesn't matter. You just have to put it down on paper so that everybody's on the same page. And expectations, respond when I text you. If you don't respond, I'm gonna be mad. If you post images not being used, tag me. Like, cause I'm not being paid. I want to be tagged. Like that's the kind of stuff you put in your contracts. If you're working with your friends, like if you post this image, please tag my account. You can put that in the contract. Doesn't mean they have to do it. Doesn't mean there's any trouble if they don't, but it's something you can do, you know, and then they're getting your name out there or whatever. Promote the show. the profit is directly affected by us promoting this work. Tell everyone, post it. That's in my contract with performer. Like, so all this to say, like, when people say contract, you're like, first of all, it's not legally binding. First of all, it's not legally binding. And most people, like, it's as binding as it is in your business. Like, you uphold that contract. I am the law. So if somebody's not meeting it, I'm like, oh, sorry, whoops, you accidentally didn't do the contract, so I can't do the contract anymore. And I think that's what helps, because a lot of times you're working with friends and, you know, things get a little gray, as I'm sure you have all experienced. This super boring piece of paper mitigates a lot of that. Like, there's not a lot of people out there that will like blatantly go against some written down piece of paper. And it really can be just one, like, what do you get? One drawing for whatever. How much? This much. When? By this date. Sign. Doesn't have to be, you know, doesn't have to be complicated. And then you stick your logo on there and now you're official. Bam. I want to pull up a couple more things in this. I probably shouldn't, but I'm gonna. This is a contract I did with a studio that ended up not working for, so that's the only reason I'm pulling it up. This was not real. This is not a real contract. It never went into effect. But this is something I prepared on when I needed some money. I was looking at a new business Friday and writing proposals and contracts for how I could potentially make money. And this is one of those things that came out of it. So that's kind of what I'm talking about there. Description of service, teach, timeline. I always put a timeline on my contract. Never leave it open-ended. Never. Because that means even if I don't like it, we can regroup. After this amount of time, I can come and talk to you and be like, hey, thank you. It's been fun. Or, hey, the contract is up. And it also gives you an out to up your rates. If there's a limit to the contract, we can up our rates, you know? So just, yeah, I like to put that. Rates, right there. I put 3 different rates there. So if you are just working with a random business and they're asking you to do like a bunch of different stuff, you might have different rates for different things that you do. You know, like this takes me longer, or this has to use the software that is more expensive, like, and you would draft that here. Like if they're just asking you to do stuff, it's kind of like gigging. It's not like a retainer contract would be ideal for you, but I think this is where more you're at currently. So just, yeah, how much do they have to pay you to do each thing? So that way they're not like adding all kind of random things last minute. You're like, oh, that took me way longer than I thought, kind of stuff. And then everybody signs in witness thereof. I don't know where I found those words, but it was definitely the internet. And freelance, well, I actually got into some stuff here because I thought they might be shady. Talking about intellectual property that I own and they own, that if you're illustrator and graphic design, you want to be really clear about that. Like you own this when it's paid, or you can reuse it in this way. That kind of stuff would be in there. Confidentiality, non-disclosure, all that deliciousness, conflict of interest, eye roll. A lot of people who hire contractors want to try to get you a non-compete. Don't sign a non-compete. You're a freelancer. You can do whatever you want. That's the benefit of being a freelancer, is that you can work with whoever you want. And I went into a lot of detail because it called for it. So anyway, that's one of my more drafty that's when I got a little more fancy. In the beginning, I was like, who, what, when, where, why. And then I was like, in witness of thereof. So see how things graduated. No. How did I do? No. This one. Okay. Any other questions about contracts or any of that fun stuff? Yeah.
So I think
Last week I was using DocuSign.
Mhm.
Is that? I don't know if that's legally mandated or if I have to have it.
I mean, really, unless you're like getting it notarized and sitting with the people and doing all the things.
It's a legal type of thing, because I want the realtor names, some realtor.
Mm.
Sign to sign. So it's like a legitimate type. Depending on
Mhm.
Okay. I'm not gonna say that.
Yeah, and when I probably do go to the morning, they do shut down. Try to make sure that you're not supposed to be doing it. When in the morning, try to have them to just roll.
Mm.
That way they can watch the presentation.
Yeah, good to know. And that's probably just like a setting in there or something, right?
Yeah, I was actually really like, really different. They didn't want to control.
Mhm.
So I would have to be control.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah,
But it's still fun.
yeah, yeah. And the important thing too about like, you can, I mean, you're in charge, like if somebody's not meeting something, you have to cut. You have to be in charge of cutting down, like, I don't know, that unless you're interested in hiring a lawyer and all of those fun things, like you have to implement the contracts. So in those contracts outline, like make sure people are paying you before you work, so that you're not like, you know. Isn't it everybody's very, like that never goes over, how you think. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if I'm, it depends on, because sometimes you teach an invoice at the end, but my retainer contracts now, they pay me on the first lesson of the month, the whole amount. And even if they cancel, I get paid the whole amount. In the contract, it says, I mean, all kind of stuff, whatever.
I don't think something until off.
Yeah,
Started with a call with the dog, like revision.
that would be in your contract.
Yeah.
You should definitely, oh yeah, no, definitely put that in there. A whole clock, revisions, anything you email to me 47 times, all those things count. Yeah, working with small, I'm sure you've seen that too. Like people are like, oh, it's just a little bit. And you're like, I've been working on this $10 illustration for entirely too long. Definitely put that in the contract to protect yourself. Yeah, let's go to the next one. Marketing. Whee! I've actually done a dabbling freelance marketing for people, and of course I've done it all myself this whole time. So I've kind of figured out a couple things, maybe. Documenting, this is super important, as you well know. I would just pick honestly one of these things to focus on. If you are really good at a DSLR camera, great. Do that. Put beautiful images on your website. Great. This is the avenue I went, video and editing. I'm not great at it, but I can do it. And I can edit in Final Cut Pro. And now it helps me do other, like I edit videos for different things. So it's helpful. And especially for Instagram and TikTok platforms, obviously, video is king. Writing and publication, if blogs are your vibe, do that on your website. Also get on Pinterest, because blogs are alive and well on Pinterest. So if people are looking for writing, they might be there. Social content, you're a social media queen. Live your best life. Do it and do it big. Post every day. The most people right now are in stories on Facebook and Instagram. Feed is just so tainted by the algorithm that you really have to be doing like, you know, robot stuff to get seen. So show up in your stories, like really let the people get to know you if you're doing that thing every day. I'm in my Instagram stories every day. And I think it's just helpful for visibility, that even if my feed is like whatever, and I'm not posting stuff that's pleasing the gods, people are still seeing my story. Your online footprint. A lot of people don't think about LinkedIn, but What are you doing again? What kind of stuff do you do? Who are your clients? Like, what kind of people are they? Older? What is the age group? I think LinkedIn would be fun for you. Yelp, if you have Yelp and Google, if you have a brick and mortar business ever. Your business pages on Facebook and Instagram. Again, I have both my businesses on Facebook. I've toddled around with just pulling the pages down completely because they're completely incorrect. I'm never on Facebook. It has like old information, and you just don't want, like, if you're really trying to clean up your business, think about your online footprint. Is there any old information out there that is inaccurate or that you're not tending to? Try to get it down. Like, try to get it off. Not because like people are, I don't care about that. Just like accurate information about your business, up-to-date information. Try to clean that up as much as you can. And Pinterest, like I just mentioned, a lot of people don't think about Pinterest, but for artists, I think it's helpful. If you're writing anything, I think it's super helpful. If you have any cool stuff on your website, Pinterest is just a really underrated form of media that almost everybody is on. They don't spend as much time there, but if they are there, they're looking for something specific, and it could be you. Share. Did I really just copy that? What happened there? I'm sorry. Ignore the whole share square. Share square is wrong. Share it on your website, on your social media, with people you know in real life to their face. I know that's a foreign concept, but you can talk to people in real life and tell them about your business. It's probably more helpful than anything else. And direct mail is making a comeback. If you have a newsletter where they're signing up, also get their address. And you can mail them, if you're an artist especially, like a little postcard with your art on it. Happy Christmas. And then they're thinking about you for next year or whatever. Like, direct mail is alive and well. Exposure. A lot of artists have heard about this. Do it for exposure. I know. There's a catch-22 on this though, because it is real. You can rework a project. Hannah Gumbo's really good about this. She just got a great gig designing the library card for the public library. And then she did an online video with the ACA around pelicans. And then she did something else. So weave your work through multiple projects increases exposure. Like, if you're crossing multiple entities with the same idea, increased exposure, right? The quality of pool. So when she's like, exposure. Yeah, if I'm getting exposed to a bunch of people who are not giving me money, it's not helpful to me. The quality of the pool of people you're being exposed to matters. Now, if somebody's exposing you to a whole group of people you never met before, that could be beneficial to you. Like, we'll talk about exposure. We'll talk about that. I still should be paid though, because if y'all are making enough money to be here, then I should be getting paid. But anyway, it's something to think about. Omnipresence is the word in marketing now. Really just makes me want to vomit, to be honest. But the idea is that you're seen on every platform in every way, every shape or form, everywhere, the best everywhere. I don't know. I just put it there because people say it, but I don't think it's what you should strive for. I think you should strive for higher quality content in fewer places. Social content, we know, and ads. I do run ads. If I'm producing my own event, I'm giving Facebook my money. I'm giving Meta my money for people to see my stuff. It's just the way it is. Cheese. And then my toolkit email, yes. Yes, newsletters, yes, but only if you're doing it regularly and with delicious content. Partnerships goes to exposure. If there's another person doing something similar to you, get with them. Like, so if you're a designer, illustrator, and you have another friend in school who's like a copywriter, partner up. Like, give each other business. Like, so that way when somebody comes to you and asks you to do something that maybe would take you a little bit longer and it gets over your pay rate, I can't do it, but I already work with this person who does it, and that's just helping both of you. Partnerships, super helpful. you're a painter, if you could be friends with, I don't know, somebody, another painter or another illustrator or more a videographer, that person would be super helpful to you. Think of like strategic partnerships. Who would be helpful to your business? Something complementary, same target audience. So the people would spend money with you and with them, and you can give each other kickbacks. If your person spends money with me, I'm going to give you like a 5% bonus, like partnerships. Work with the people who are in the same struggle bus as you. Is helpful. Mail, we talked about that. Merch, stickers. Everybody should have stickers. Wear your shirt. You know how cheap it is to get your $5 Fiverr logo printed on an Amazon shirt? Pretty cheap. So just start like putting your business out there. If you're paying for this brand and this logo and this whatever continuity, wear it. Give it to people for free. Free stickers. You get a sticker, put it on your water bottle. Yay. I'm about to do Breathe and Move stickers right now. A lot of people have asked me for them just because it's a cool, beautiful logo. So just do it. Pat yourself on the back. Put your name out that you're paying for all this stuff and you're cursing yourself for not posting on social media, but you won't put a sticker on your water bottle for yourself. Think about that. Let's go to the next one. This is fun. Proposals. Let's make money. This is stepping out of waiting for people to bring you the money. You're going to ask them for the money. You're going to ask who you want for the money, You're going to go to them and you say, this is what I can do for this amount of money. And they'll be like, yeah, or both are fine. Both of those are fine. I think for both of you, I'm hearing like, well, I'm having trouble getting people to, it seems like you're doing a lot of output to get people to come in, but you're not doing, like, you're not asking people directly. Like what kind of, and for artists, I always, for you guys, like to think about any kind of retainer situation that you could have, because I think commissions and everything is usually like, especially seasonal, like if we could level out that a little bit, would be a retainer situation. So what does that mean? Retainer, like for visual artists, bare walls is kind of a retainer situation. Like they pay artists to have their art in other businesses. It's making money. They're not doing anything. They have some people that hang it up. You don't have to hang it up. That would be a retainer type situation. If you were writing a proposal similar to that for something else, you might, let's say one business, or you know a business owner who just loves your art. They only want your art. Skip over bare walls. You're already friends with this person. And now you have a retainer contract with them to rotate art with them. And you do that by yourself. You know, you're taking on that work. So you might want to up your rates a little bit, but if they're friends with you, they're cool with it. You know, so just think about what retainer contracts might look like. What's another retainer contract? Visual artist or an illustrator designer working with a small business, because they always need an established small business, not a new one. Somebody's already got some income, because they always need an illustration for this new event they're doing, or maybe they need a flyer for this new product they're rolling out, or that, like, you could be on a retainer contract as a designer with a small business around here. There are plenty of, I know like 5 small businesses that just hired a consistent social media marketer. They're just looking for consistency. And if you draw up your nice brand continuity proposals, got your nice logo and some pictures on it and some squiggles, and everything's written and drawn out, and you show it to the small business owner, they have never seen that before. And they're like, organized, I don't have to worry about it. They're just going to do all the, wow, yes, sign here. Like if you can show that you're organized and established, people respond to that. It's just the way it is. I actually do have a couple proposals. If anyone is interested in seeing them. Oh, it isn't here. It never lets me leave. Like it just, you know what I mean? Why can't I leave? Ignore the tech crew, everyone. We appreciate your patience. Jeez. Where is it? Maybe here. Oh, these are more contracts. Oh, proposal. Proposal. Look at all these proposals. Okay, here we are. Okay, so this is just something I wrote up really quickly. So there is whatever social media proposal. So this is what it looks like. I didn't even have a brand to do that at the time. So I picked some random colors and some Canva graphics and bam, colors and graphics go a long way. I know it sounds silly and you're like, she's just like doodling contracts. Yes, people like it. People respond well to that when they see you took the extra effort to make it look visually appealing. Humans like pretty things. So if the contract you're asking for money looks pretty, it's a bonus for you. It's a bonus. So this is what I did. Nothing fancy. What are we doing? And usually, so why and how do I write proposals? I usually start stalking the business first. One of my favorite contracts right now is a retainer with the Montessori of Acadiana school. I go there once a week, teach 1 30-minute lesson, and I get one set fee a month, no matter how many lessons are in the month for the year. That's retainer contract dream. So I started stalking the business. The first thing I did was emailed them. Nobody responds to email, but somebody saw it. Somebody saw that email, even though they didn't respond. I did that like 2 months in advance. Hey, I'm this person. I'm doing this thing. I think you're cool. I see you. Then a couple months later, I schedule a meeting as a person interested in bringing their kid to the school, which is also sort of true. So I show up at this meeting and she doesn't know who I am. Hi, oh, I'm this person. Oh, you're that person who emailed. That was so cool. I saw that email all those months ago and now you're here. Hi. Oh, I was just kind of thinking about doing this thing. She was like, what, you do this thing? Yeah, I can do this thing here. I think it's great what you're doing. I'll make a proposal for you and I'll give it to you next week. I never give it to them at the first meeting because it creates excitement. They're thinking about it. What are they going to do? What is she going to say she's going to do? How much is it going to be? That's what they really want to know. So then you send a proposal. It looks all nice. It's ideal if you can hand it to them. I print all of my stuff on extra thick paper. Everybody talks about my paper everywhere I go. And I put everything, my timesheets, everything I print on this extra thick paper. So if I'm handing somebody a piece of paper, they're already like, like they don't know why. It's the little things that matter when it comes to proposals, like when you're really trying to sell something. And then I'm like, this is what I can do, or email or whatever. And she looks over and she's like, oh, wow, you can do this. How much? I say this much. She's like, done. Immediately, because I've already set up this relationship. I've gotten to know your business. I'm interested in your clients. I like what you're doing here. I'm already doing something related. Look at this beautiful contract that shows that I'm capable. I'm going to not be late. I'm going to show up. Everything's going to be super professional. Like all those things say what you're going to do for the business. And then you sign it. Done. Ta-da! So that's what it is like for proposals. Can anybody think of a dream like proposal partnership situation for you? Like what is a business, person, brand that you're like, come on. Yeah. Well, you don't know if you don't ask. Haven't they been hiring artists to make stickers? Huh. Wouldn't that be cool? You should introduce yourself to the barista. You probably already go there regularly. So you introduce yourself. Man, I love those stickers. That is so cool. I do art. Bye. And then like the next thing you know, like just build this relationship. Like when I'm really thinking and dreaming about a proposal and I'm about to ask for a significant amount of money, like recurring, you have to build, like do the work and build a relationship, but they're not gonna reach out. They don't know who you are. So you have to be like, hey, I'm this person. Oh, look. And then if you do a related project, like show it to someone there. Hey, I see you're hiring artists. Like, is there a manager? Like, this is the kind of stuff I'm working on. It would be so cool. I'm already a fan. Like, just plant seeds, you know? I've been absolutely shocked at the things people pay me to do just because I'm like planting seeds, you know, and you never know. Like, and even if somebody overhears that conversation, there's a small business owner working on something over here. You make stickers? I've been dying to have stickers. Can you make these? Like, even just speaking it out into the world. You don't know who's listening, you know. What's your dream? Okay. Do you have stuff like in a gallery ever? Yeah. Yeah. Would you, so you have them in stores? How does that arrangement work? Like you,
It's kind of like what it's all like they take a percentage.
Yeah. Is that consistent?
No, but I haven't used. Or use that. And
Maybe pull back. Like if it's not work, if you're, let's say you have stuff in 3 stores, but you don't feel great about any of it, pull back to 1 store, nail the process, and then expand. So you can have a really strong retainer situation and you can come in offering to that, like, you have these pieces in my store. I'm going to spend this much amount of time marketing. In the contract, it says how often you will like turn your product or whatever, or even rearrange it if you like put all of that in the contract. Like if I came in, first of all, I would scale back if it's not working. And then look at 1 store that you really like or you think it could work. Do you have a contract in place with them? No. Draw up a contract and say, this is what I'm going to do for you. And they'll be more likely to sell your stuff in store. Like if they know you're putting energy and effort towards it. Like your contract could say, okay, you have this many pieces every month. Once a month, I'm going to come in and turn the product. I'm going to spend 2 hours a week marketing this kind of stuff on these channels where I have this audit, just kind of like, what is the exchange? And in return, I get this percentage, like just make sure all of that's broken down and then foster this and then grow, you know. Who do you want to work with? She's like, anybody. You got to stop saying that. You're doing it. You're doing it. You're doing, like, people are paying you to make stuff. You're definitely doing it. And I think when you call it a business, it will grow. Don't hold yourself back, you know. Who you want to work with? Oh, that would be so cool. Yeah, but everybody works remotely now. No, no. Find. Yeah, go to California. Go to California. LinkedIn. Approach. Yeah, approach. I would get on LinkedIn for sure. And you can find the marketing people of specific wineries and message them. This is a dream project of mine. I've already checked out your website. I love the work you're doing. I've had your wine. Yeah, I've had your wine. Super big fan. This is what I do. Proposal, draw up this, whatever sheet. This is what I can do for this much. Super big fan. They're probably not hiring designers who are fans of their wine. So if they could check off that box, they probably would, you know. You can do it, everyone. Anybody else have a cool project they're wanting to bring to life?
So there's like, years ago, I was able to find like figure drawing and like stuff with live sessions. There's not so much of that anymore, so
Mm-mm.
like that's something I've always kind of like, because that's my jam.
Yeah.
I love figure drawing, and if I can like have a flow studio.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do they have one available for like non-students?
Is it open?
There's an off at the moment, who's hiring out studio space. Currently, I think, no.
No, it's a
Different.
different.
It's different. I do have the residency application, but they've got some studios, they currently
Yeah.
available in the current space. It'll be temporary until they move across, but then they will have a lot of space that you fit for. I would absolutely take care for the figure.
Mhm. Yeah, if you're to the point where you need studio space, being in a shared space is helpful.
Yeah. Like, it's not like a commercial space, so it's not like, yeah.
Okay.
So that's been one of the biggest things, trying to navigate, because well, space is just not
It matters.
working for me.
It matters. I feel that I have not had an office for like 2 months, and I feel like I've dropped the ball on a lot of
And I think
stuff.
being in our space, I think a lot around just like people let it go. And it's like that just generated its own kind of, work as well. Like they need to be live and stuff, like.
Mhm.
But that would be like, it's something that I would love to do, is
Mhm.
kind of push that and get, because I feel like,
Especially if you're already at Basin, I bet Claire would host a figure drawing class.
Yeah.
I bet she
And they
would.
do the critique night.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool to be in spaces where other artists are as well. If you can, put yourself there. I talk about it all the time.
I met
Like-
Derek, this Wednesday, no Thursday, art squad auction.
Nice. Yeah. A bunch of the artists, especially visual artists, are really welcoming.
And totally recommend that.
Okay, yeah.
Like half of the,
For sure, yeah.
I do have one more thing I want to show y'all. Because I was talking about bringing ideas to life. I have a marketing schedule. This one. If I'm doing an event, this is my schedule. On the back end and on the marketing front end. I don't know if anybody wants that information. I can share that with whomever. It's on Google Drive. If you're launching any, like say if you were launching your Christmas commissions open 12 weeks out, you need to be, which is what I'm telling. That's what I'm talking about, document everything. I even documented how I marketed something. I don't even know why. Just so I could show it here today. No one's ever seen this. Yeah, and I will definitely share that with you. If you are, I'll say it again, if you're launching anything, you need to be thinking about it 12 weeks out. If you're constantly launching things that are like, oh, 2 weeks and I haven't even talked about it, like it's not gonna work out. You might as well let it go. Let it go right now so you don't spend that energy and start thinking about things 12 weeks out. I like to think in quarters. It just helps my brain. Marketing talks a lot about the 3-month plans for things. It's just the way to marketing. 12 weeks it takes to market something big. And so like, let's look here. So 12 weeks out, I'm putting rehearsal behind the scenes and 2 to 3 posts per week about the event. That is not all my posts. When I'm really going, I'm still posting on the account and I'm posting 3 times a week about the event, right? 10 weeks out, I'm showing people, oh, we about to be here. Everybody gets excited, but I'm still posting about other stuff. 6 weeks out, It's on. It's on. Like I'm deep in it. 2 weeks, it's all day, every day. The last week, I'm trying not to cry. But that's what it looks like. It takes 12 weeks to launch something. I cannot stress that enough. There are times where I like didn't market it and then you do all this work to do the actual thing, but you know you didn't do the work for people to see that you were doing it, and now nobody saw it. Womp. That is a big womp. So 12 weeks out. If you're working on something right now and it is before 12, like cancel it, push it back. You need the 12 weeks to really give it the time and energy and time to get out into the world before you do a thing. Cool. Does everybody want this? Yeah. Okay. Can I just pass around a paper to write your email address on, and I will share it with all of you? It's in my Google Drive, but I don't really want it to be public.
I'll be sharing the recording.
Okay. Okay. Okay, cool. Well, then I'll share it with her and she'll share it with you for whomever is not here. You can continue writing that down.
You should have
I still want your email addresses if that's okay. Never know if I'll do a newsletter or something. I have done an email newsletter in the past, but I don't do it consistently, so I don't do it at all now. I think if you're not doing something, like, just don't do it. Don't do anything halfway. Like, I think we could be spending our energy in a lot of different places in small amounts when you could just pull that back and put it all in where it should be. Don't waste your energy, people.
Same thing with, like, always one of the offices there or something. That's not.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, guilty. Me here today. Me here today. I did not market this event like according to plan. I'll be honest with you, it's because I don't have a home office. I spent all my time painting and like trying to get it together. You really have to have a space to be the most effective and productive, and you have to have time carved out to sit at that space. Thank you. Oh, my husband loves to put things in my office. Loves to put things in. I'm like, get out, get out, get out. I don't even like stuff on the bed because then this is still my office. Like, I need the bed to look nice because this is my office. Stuff piled up. I can't get any work done. Yeah. Maybe for you, it's like investing in a coffee at Rev for a whole day. Like, I'm going to go here and work a whole day in this space. And that is your workspace. Like, if you really can't work in your own space, go out of your way to find another space to work in. Or the public library has a lot of cool spaces. That is also true. Yeah. I sit down right outside there by the window and do a lot of my work. And the cool thing about working here is you pass other artists and people who start stirring up conversations and networking. Like, there's benefit to working in like shared open spaces. So if you don't have a space, get yourself next to other people. Yeah. You could sit here. Could be fun, but that works too. Anybody, any other things? My contact information is the last page. That's my cell phone number and my email address. Call me, beat me if you want to reach me. I love to help in any way I can. Any problems that are sticking for you. If you still don't think you're a business, so I don't get it, I will support you in any way I can. So reach out if you need. No, totally. What year are you? Oh, you good. You almost done, sort of. Over halfway. What is your major? Yeah. You like it? Yeah. We love that. I've retaken a class. Except for mine was like geology or something. Because I didn't want to go. Oh no. What happened? You didn't like the teacher?
No, they're just pretty. I usually got C's and D's.
Yeah. Is it going better for you now?
I don't know if they have projects that are.
We love the bureaucracy of university. Well, I hope it goes better this semester. It sounds like something's working for you. And even if, I mean, even like, you know, I'm not trying to discourage you, whatever, but you don't have to have a degree in that, you know, or you don't have to have a degree at all, if that. But keep going if it's working for you. It will happen. And you're here doing this. Like I don't think it's going that bad. Yeah. I don't think it's going as bad as you think it is. You got it. We got it. Thanks, guys.
Like really involved, like.
I really find you well as going classes on those.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Getting involved with the ACA and other artists before you get out is monument.
Yeah.
Like that's the kind of stuff Dirk Gidry was thinking about when he was at UL, networking and marketing before he got out of the university. Like it's stuff that you start doing early. And it like the fact that you're here is a lot. Like a lot of students just get caught in their own little bubble, and it's hard because it's a lot of work when you're in college, but it's like she's saying, as much as you can, like get to know people outside of the university doing this, what you want to do.
I'm gonna quit recording and we can just,
Cool.
go back.